Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round 4 preview, pre-lockout discussion, whatever you want to call it, and we've got some important decisions to make this week. There's a lot of great plays. There's a lot of great trade-ins. I feel like the team is pretty solid through and through, but there's some big trades to make. So let's have a quick squiz down at what we're thinking, because it's a tough one. Honestly, there's so many good potential trade-ins. Not apparently, it is going to be a wet weekend, which is unfortunate. It's going to be wet in Queensland and New South Wales, so I think most games we'll see if they're high scoring or not. It could be the week. I mean, the front rowers have already been killing it, but just having a nice, solid, safe 80 plus from your big guys might be the option, but we'll discuss that later as well. So let's have a look. Dummy halves, obviously they are rocking and rolling. They're fine for now. I just thought, we could look at getting, no, I don't think that's I was thinking like one of these three, like Starling, Mamazoulis, Smith. It would be lovely to turn into a Nico Hines for sure. But I am very, very keen to try to get in Hines this week if I can. I still see a lot of people like downplaying Hines. I think he's like, the fact he's got the goal kicking back, and the Sharks, they're going to put some points on. So I really want to get Hines in. So I don't think I could swing it, and I don't particularly want to trade Starling out right away anyway. So there's other avenues. So they're fine. I mean, obviously it's bad for owners, and also Connor Watson's suffering a head knock, but I've got to be honest, I still think Connor Watson is a pretty good pickup when one of these two sort of peak in price. I feel like either or could go, depending who makes the most money, but nothing too urgent. The front row, so Payne, Haas, Terrell May, lock and load. Nafahu White, 87. It's good. It is good, but he's now got a -10 break even, so I can't trade him out. I mean, I wasn't probably going to anyway, but there is a couple of trade-ins on offer. Emre Gula, so the big one, straight up, the big trade, the one definite trade-in is Tino for Sormoali, right? Like, he is definitely coming in. It's a matter of who do we get rid of. I think it is Preston. As much as I still like Preston, and I can definitely see him just starting to score tries, he's not necessarily gonna lose money this week, but it's a tough matchup against the Sharks, and then I think they've got the bye. No, they play Sharkies, Newcastle, bye, South, Broncos. Like, it's still a pretty good draw, but there is a bye as well thrown in there. So I think as it goes, he's the best option. Obviously, I'm not trading out Haas, not trading out May, I'm not trading out Naf White. Like, he's got a negative break even, and he's, I would like to see the minute rotation now with a fully strength pack. But he's still a solid option, still a solid play. Emre Gula, he's averaged 50 the first couple of weeks. We'll see. Again, he's a good watch to see what happens with minutes, but at 300k, punching out like 50 points, like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Hamoli Olaquatu, we're obviously not trading. Corey Horsburgh, excuse me, we're definitely not trading. Seyfarth was probably the most likely to go, but now he's gone and scored a try and punched out 73. I still think we still might move on Seyfarth. Lockie Hubner, obviously, he is just going to make money when he comes back. Good cheapie. And then Simpkins, I mean, honestly, it's fine. Like, I still think it's fine to have enough there. Yeah, so... Because we could be doing 2 trades. That's the thing. We're getting in Tino, but then the other guy is Matty Nicholson, who is also a really good pickup this week. So that would mean... If we're doing 2 trades, it's definitely Preston and Seyfarth. I think, yeah, you know what? Let's pull the Band-Aid off. Preston is gone. I think Tino is, like, it's just so hard. He's not necessarily a must-have. I mean, he scored 60, 61... But he's going to score try. He's a try scorer, tackle buster, offloader. He's just too good. I mean, 45% of people own him. He's got to come in. We also make money doing that. We make, I mean, not a whole heck of a lot, 50k, but that's good. We now have 240k in the bank. I mean, just pull the trigger. You just got to pull the trigger on that one, I think. I think it's too good to pass up. It's crazy to think that we have now we've got 2 front rowers in our Tour F spot, but honestly, it's the way to go. It's the way to go this year. Going down, so obviously Cleary is out this week. I am not trading Cleary. I'm not going to, because they've got the Cowboys next week. He's going to lose cash, but I'm just going to hold Cleary. Whether or not it's the whole season or not, we'll decide, but I'm definitely holding him. Like, I don't know. There's other potential trade-outs, other than Cleary to get to another gun, so I'm happy to keep Cleary. I don't even mind having to play San and Smith if we have to, which I guess we do, so we'll switch that straight off rip. I mean, the Roosters taking on the Titans. Apparently it'll be wet, but I mean, it should be hopefully a high scoring game, maybe. We'll see. Luke Metcalf. Adam Dewey is also on the chopping block a little bit, but Metcalf definitely so. Again, we don't have to trade out this week. The big trade in for me is Preston Campbell. I was like having an absolute mind fire there. I could not think. But let's have a quick squiz at the 5'8s. We'll have a quick look at the 5'8s. I think Campbell clears, honestly. I do think he clears. He's goal kicking. He is an attacking threat every time. He is expensive, but 700k, it's not annoying, but man, I was so keen on not Preston Campbell, Jaden Campbell. I was so keen on Jaden Campbell at the start of last year. He was 450. He was like 400. And like, I was so keen on him, but obviously an injury, he missed the first month of footy, and then he went on an absolute tear. And I never brought him in, which really crippled us. So I love Campbell. I'd love to get him in. I just think, Dill Brown, he is cheaper. Munster, even Galvin. I think it's just Campbell though. It just is. Like, he is the play, in my opinion. Doesn't have to be this week though. So he has got a 56 break even. So there's every chance he could exceed that, because he's just that type of player. He could go 100. But he played 46 against the Doggies and then backed it up with the 117. The Roosters, and then he goes into Dolphins, Dragons, Canberra, Cowboys, Dogs, again, Newcastle, Canberra. It's a great draw. He plays the first major bye. He plays all the byes, actually. He plays all the major byes, so that's brilliant. He plays the Broncos in one of them, the Storm in one, which is also very good. They'll be missing players. I love the Campbell play. So, obviously, worst case scenario, Campbell could make some cash. He just could. But where is... So Metcalf, he's got a pretty low break. He's got a two break even. So there's every chance Metcalf... He will make money. unless he does a cleary, he will make money. It could be pretty even. So obviously, best case scenario, Campbell doesn't hit his break even or even just goes close to it. Metcalf comes out and kills it. That would be great, and then he could make a bit of cash and it'd be easier to get to Campbell next week. That would be ideal. I mean, the draw... Yeah, I mean, the Tigers, then Storm, Broncos, pretty tough. It's pretty good throughout, but I would like to get off Metcalf, I think. I mean, Campbell is the play. So I think Campbell is my goal in the 5'8" spot. I think he will be the goal to get to. Adam Doueihi, I mean, again, Doueihi, I guess because Doueihi didn't get a massive score, so his break-even isn't that low. I was going to say, if he makes more cash than Metcalf, then you could always just keep Metcalf for good matchups and trade out Doueihi instead, but again, we'll decide when it comes. Our centre wing, so this is where it gets interesting. Ruben Garrick, obviously locked in. Shibazaki, I mean, he's won the spot still, so locked in as a cheapie. Purdue continuing to get the spot. Robert Toya, Arthurs, they're all locked in. The center wing is definitely looking weaker than it was. Like it looks so good with like Lucas and stuff there, but it's looking a little shoddy. Tuapiki also has to go. He also has a pretty low break even, so we don't have to get rid of him this week. Greg Marju could also go. I was just seeing. Yeah, Iongi is just fullback. I was hoping obviously he's just fullback. I was like, is he dual? So I could potentially trade Marju to Ryan Papenhuyzen. But even that's under a little bit of injury cloud. So, yeah, there's options here. I think Tuapiki's got to go. Doesn't have to be this week. It's fine if not. I know a lot of people are going to Tuapolotu. And also Gutho, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not sure if I'm that keen on either. I'm probably keener on Tuipolotu just because of he's on that left edge. I mean, outside of Val Holmes is just brilliant, and also, I mean, Gutho does love to attack left as well. It is a great spot to be. His base is like pretty decent, not incredible, but okay enough. I don't know. There's a couple of centers I am keen on. And if we look, so you know what, before we do anything, I'm gonna just do our we'll do our strongest team to start with to see how we're shaping up for the week. So, we'll play Starling. I think that's fine. I still prefer playing Starling over Mumbazulis. Payne Haas, Terrell May starting, that's fine. Olikwatu, Tino, Horsburgh. Seyfarth against the Warriors, I don't mind it. Would probably chuck the reserve on him if we're keeping him. Sanders Smith would come in to start. Metcalf or Doueihi. I don't know. Obviously, Garrett can come in for Marju. Shibazaki. Who do they take on? Dolphins? Honestly, I'm happy to play Shibazaki again. I'm going to play Arthurs. I'll play Toya. I would play Toya against the Titans. Purdue, I'd still probably lean against it. So Purdue a no-go. Obviously, we can't play Marju. And then Ponga out for Tommy. Iongi will be our flex for now. That's fine. So at the moment, I mean, I sort of... we do need another reserve. So I guess you probably just go Nafahu White. I don't mind it. I mean, I think worst case, he's going to punch out like 45. Like, you wouldn't expect much less than 45 for White. So it's not the worst thing in the world. So that's that's okay. That's fine. The question remains... So, I would love to bring in Hines. I'm not going to lie. I just would like to get some Sharky presence. So, obviously what we could do, and I am actually I'm pretty tempted by it. So, Kalen Ponga, we could trade out Ponga this week. Obviously has the bye. Then he takes on the Doggies, which, I mean, Ponga could still go crazy. Like, he could still kill it against the Dogs. The Dogs obviously are good defensively, but Ponga, when he's on, he's on. Like, he could go 120 plus against the Dogs for sure. And then the Tigers, Shark, like, it's still pretty good after that for KP. But the plan, or the thinking is Ponga down to Hines. Obviously, we'd swing Iongi to our second fullback spot and trade Ponga to Hines. Hines would be in our flex position. And then we have options, because obviously with Hines in the flex, if we wanted to move him up to halfback, we could then trade out. We could trade out Sanders Smith, Starling, or Mamazoulis for a fullback, if you get what I'm saying. So let's say Starling peaks or Mamazoulis peaks, you trade him, swing Smith up to dummy half, swing Hines up to halfback. Then you've got I still think Hines and Cleary halfback tandem is still the way to go. We just didn't start with it, which it would have been nice probably at this point, but I still think it's the way to go. I still believe that. I know people will continue to say that Hines is not the go this year. I disagree. I disagree immensely. But yeah, we could do that. Obviously, it would take a fair bit of cash to get Ponga back in. That is the one concern. But there's cheapies coming up. There are cheapies coming up for sure. So it's a tough choice. It is one of those weeks where, like, I feel like there's so many good options. There's also the option to sit on the hands a little bit. I just would there's a few center wingers, and obviously Hines is the other sort of big fish I wouldn't mind. Obviously Kaeliro, I mean, Kaeliro's still under 700k, which is expensive, but it's going to get a lot worse. Doggies, I still don't mind the matchup, Doggies, but then Canberra, Manly, Newcastle, Tigers, Para, Manly again, Melbourne, Roosters. They don't play the first major bye, but they play the next two. Kaeliro would be great. What is Hines' price? Did he change much? He'd be at... Okay, so he's 750k. So we don't make a lot of cash from going Ponga down to Hines. Obviously, again, he's coming in with a pretty low break even. Again, I don't mind the matchup against the Dogs, honestly. He hasn't scored necessarily that well against them in recent weeks, so you don't have to bring him in. I would like to. I would like to have the big guns in the halves. I still would like to. But I guess if I do the Hines play, it does make it a lot harder to get like a Jaden Campbell next week, because I'll be using a lot of cash to try to get back in someone like a Ponga. But yeah, it's a sort of good run coming up. Yeah, it is a good run still. I do like the Hines play. The centre wing, so there's honestly a couple of Panthers boys that I am eyeing off in the centre wing. So one of them, looking at the... also, I did forget about Matty Nicholson. So if we are going Nicholson, which even Tui Pilotu to an extent. People are flocking to Tui Pilotu. I don't disagree with it. I don't disagree with it. As we look here, I mean, Cleary to Reynolds. I mean, yeah, if it's like a couple week play, Reynolds is going to make a lot of cash. But I guess I don't agree with trading Cleary because he's going to be back next week and they got a couple of really good matchups. So I don't love that. Ponga to Nicholson with duels. Tuvashek obviously out. Nicholson, Tuvashek to Tuipulotu. Cleary straight to Hines. I don't like that either. Kalen Ponga to Tuipulotu. Cleary to Gutho. Papenhuyzen has dropped down the list. So I didn't even mention Pappy, but like I said in the review of the last round, he was obviously he rolled his ankle or whatever. Like, it's come out that it's nothing serious. Like, it's not like a re-injury of his ankle that he fractured. It was just like, I don't know, like a sprained ankle. Like, he just rolled over it. So obviously painful, but he should be good. Although they did come out and basically say that he's probably not going to be goal kicking, which I don't know what to think about it then. So Pappy, he does have a -4 break even. It does, this is the week to get on him. I don't know. Without the goal kicking, do you go Papenhuyzen? It's sort of annoying that they fucking took on Parramatta in round 1 because we've seen now for the last 3 rounds that Parramatta have they haven't been the worst offensive team. They've been one of, like them, the Cowboys, even the Dolphins at points, but they've been terrible. So is it a bit... Okay, I'm back. I had to sneeze. Where was I? Yeah, Parramatta. So is it a bit of an anomaly that Pappy is back that much? 100, big 100? I don't know. He's such a good price, obviously. And I guess it sort of comes down to, would you rather Papenhuyzen or Hines? It's tough. It's tough because I still am a believer of Hines, but he is 130k more expensive. So, and what's the draw like? The draw is really good. Dragons, Manly at 4 points, not easy. New Zealand, Dolphins, Rabbits, Canberra, West, Sharks, Bye, Titans. There's too many options. Even like Tuipulotu, -54 break even, but of course they take on the Storm this week, so it's like that's the main reason I'm not sold on the Tuipulotu play. I mean, he's come out and gone 130.99. 130 against the fucking Doggies, who apparently are defensive powerhouses. So, and then I think 99 with 1 try in this one. So, if we look at his 51 points and tries, it's crazy. He did have a try assist as well in that, but looking at his base, honestly, a bunch of tackle busts, which he's always been known for. He's a big body, heaps of line breaks, I mean, they're just attacking that side, and then the hit ups. It's not bad. He's getting in and doing his work. It's not Marju-esque. It's not Kaeliro levels, but it's not bad. It's better than let's have a look. 28 points and then 18 and 9 there. Let's have a look at Arthur's. What's Arthur's sort of base compared to for the runs? Yeah, not as good. It's close. I mean, Arthur's he's been better. He is just less likely to tackle bust. I mean, that's the good thing with Tuipulotu, is that he does, when he runs, he's a big body. He's more likely to get the odd tackle bust and does offload occasionally. So that is why he is sort of interesting. The one guy here I was keen on, Alamotti. I didn't realize he was that expensive. 640. Okay, it's sort of good because it has thrown me off Alamotti now. I was super keen on Alamotti. For some reason, I thought he was going to be like mid 500s, but I guess he finished really well last year. He came in at a hefty price already, almost 600k from the get-go, and he scored very well. I mean, 65, 84, 102. It's really good, but yeah, 640. I don't think I could pay that much for Alamotti. I don't. He is good though. Like, he is a tackle buster. Obviously, he'll have the goal kicking this week, which is good. But obviously that won't continue. It's just a little bit of icing on top this week. But I just can't. I mean, Tui Pilotti, 550. He's 100k less. Zach Lomax, also interesting. Still 750 though, very expensive. I think I'd rather like a Kale Iro if I was gonna go big. I'd rather getting someone like a Kale Iro. But the one, this is the reason now that I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go Alamotti, is because of Thomas Jenkins. Thomas Jenkins scored obviously very well. He's 215k. How many? I was talking about this the other video. How many games did he play at the Knights last year? I thought, where his? Can you not see the previous years? Why? Why can't you look at the previous years? I couldn't do this last time either. Why? I don't know. Obviously, he might have played a couple, but he definitely didn't score well. He's at 215, but he's always been a bit of a goer. Like, he obviously played fullback, which is, it bumps it up a little bit, but I mean, he's a cheapie downgrade. He's potentially won the spot. I definitely wouldn't go this week though, because you've got Casey McLean, who is dropped, but he could find himself back into the side. I mean, at the end of the day, if Thomas Jenkins plays well this week and he gets named again next week, he is like the ultimate downgrade option. So I think we're going to forego Alamotti because Jenkins next week is just it's too good. Like, I mean, if he's playing, and it'll be interesting, like, obviously team list, they've named Jenkins in the centers and Alamotti on the wing. It could be a late switch. I'd probably rather Jenkins on the wing, but Alamotti's been really good on the wing when he's played there, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if he plays well, keeps the spot, then I mean, yeah, it's all go for Thomas Jenkins next week. So what are we doing? Honestly, that didn't really help me at all. I don't know. I guess that, like, the big thing, is it worth getting Matty Nicholson? Is it worth getting Nicholson? Like, I'm not gonna. You might be like trading Gula to Nicholson. I feel like it's just it's not sideways because Nicholson's going to make cash a lot quicker, but I mean, Gula's also got a 1 break even. I can't do that. If I was going to trade, it's got to be Seyfarth, but that also feels bad. Like, it also feels sideways, just in the fact that, I don't know, is it worth getting him? Like, I know, like, he looks good, but, like, is he, I still feel like he's not going to play 80 minutes, right? It's just so annoying. He played fucking the 2 rounds ago, and he got 2 tries to get, like, a ton, so he's just annoyingly, like, priced. I don't think I need to get him. I honestly don't. Like, I always say this, you don't have to get every big money maker, every cheapie. There's going to be heaps. There's going to be heaps of cheapies pop up that you can make money. I mean, I've already got some big guns. I've already got a lot of cash. So there's no reason to rush for it. I guess, I mean, you could trade. You don't have to trade safe. Okay, you know what? You don't have to trade Seyfarth. You could trade Ponga. you could have Nicholson in your flex. You could have Nicholson in the flex position, and then, because at the end of the day, if you're gonna trade Ponga, you're gonna trade him back anyway. And someone like your Seyfarth and stuff aren't going to be season keepers. Like any of these guys that make enough money, even enough White, you could trade them back to Kalen Ponga in a couple of weeks if they've made a good amount of cash. Is it worth doing that? I'm torn. I'm stuck. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think the forwards, like, it's good. It's very good. What do we do? Dummy halves we don't need to look at. Front row. I mean, the front row, we've got the front row as we want. I mean, don't get me wrong, the only other guy I would love to get in is Lindsay Smith. He was my guy at the start of the preseason, and he has fucking killed it. The only game where he didn't score that well was the game he got a head knock, where he played 49 minutes, 48 points. The other game, 60, 73, 56, 76. The man is a monster. I would love to get him, but it's not, I don't think it's worth doing it. It's not. It just isn't. It just isn't. I've got Horse. I've got Terrell May, Papenhuyzen, Tino now. Even Nafahu White. It's not worth doing that as well. So front row, we are set. We are definitely set in the front row. Tour F. Is there anyone in the Tour F that's sort of like standing up? I mean, we got Hamole. Horsburgh is the fourth top scoring second row forward. Paddy Carrigan, nah. I mean, he's been really good, but I have no real desire. Same with Hudson Young. He's been very good. He is a guy that goes under the radar as a bit of a keeper, but I just Connor Watson, I still think he is the guy to probably target at dummy half. He should lose a bit of cash, hopefully. Zayo, no. Max Blythe, no. Crichton is obviously the guy that is very tempting. Not this week. Hopefully in a couple of weeks. 94 break even. He's due to get some attack, so he could easily go a ton this game and start making money. But yeah, Crichton is on the list. Is there anyone else? Not really. I mean, Nickera, he's scoring tries and not really doing a whole lot. Bullimore, no. Tino's played 2 games and he's 16 top Tour F scorer. Hopgood, no. Like, Eli Katoa. So Eli Katoa is the other guy. He is definitely the other big gun. Him and Angus Crichton are the two big guns. It's just at the moment it's too hard to bring him in. I think closer to Origin time, where he won't be affected and he'll be relied upon. I think middle of the year, approaching that, I think that's when I'll try to look to get in an Ali Katoa. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have him earlier, but I think at the moment it's just not needed. Halfbacks, we don't need to look at halfbacks. 5'8", it is what it is. Fullbacks, I mean, Gutho is the other big one people are bringing in. I mean, he's 675k. He's at a good price. Negative 48 break even. Very similar to Tui Pelotu. He's doing a lot. Like, he's just involved. Like, 113, 146. Jesus Christ. And the draw's pretty good. Obviously, this week is a bit of a... It's just annoying enough to, like, not be a slam dunk. But then, Melbourne are missing some players. Like, they're missing Meaney. It's a different edge combo. Wishart's there instead. Defensively, Storm still aren't what they used to be. But then Para, Gold Coast, Manly, Roosters, Tigers, Warriors, Bronx. Play the first bye. How has he been scoring his points? I haven't really I haven't really been checking his scores. The try assists, my God, he's getting so many try assists. Just so many. What's this one? Oh, tackles. I was like, what's that? Try assist? No. Not many tackles. Heaps of tackle bust in that Rabbitohs game, that's for sure. It's not... I wouldn't say it's generally a Gutho point score. I mean, that 4 against the Dogs is way more common, I would say. 18, that's unheard of for Gutho, I would say. A couple offloads, he does like that. Ineffective offloads. Line breaks. Line break assists, I mean, that's just the cutout ball to fucking Tui Pilotu. Hit ups. He's still not, like... He's not running the ball as much as I thought. I thought there would be more points, like, in base to get those... but he's just... like... What's that, like 3 or 4 try assists a game? Like... I just find it hard to think it's going to keep up, right? Like, I know he is... Like... Ilias and Flanagan are not creators. Like, it does sort of come down to Gutho. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Like, the Dogs weren't great in round 1, I didn't think. And then the Rabbitohs were obviously awful. So it's still I still think it's a bit sight unseen with Gutherson. Obviously Ryan Papenhuyzen, but again, if it gets confirmed that he is like good to go and he will goal kick, I think I will pull the trigger and get him in. But from what I've heard, it seems like he is not going to goal kick, which then is like, do you get him in without the goal kicking? Like, I mean, he scored 130 without the goal kicking in round 1, but again, it was against Parramatta. If we look at his stats, like, yeah, he scored a bunch of tries. No try assists in that Parramatta game, which is surprising. Heaps of tackle busts, good lord. That's crazy. 10 tackle busts, couple offloads, heaps of line breaks. Not many runs though. Not a whole stack of runs, which is, I mean, to be expected for Papenhuyzen. You don't want him doing a lot of the tough stuff. But yeah, that's obviously... I guess you could just go Campbell. You could just... Dude, I honestly, I don't know. I'm not sold on Tuipulotu or Gutho. They're like the two most popular trade-ins. Papenhuyzen, I'm also not that sold on. I don't know. I don't think... And then also bringing in Nicholson. Who do I trade out? I don't really... Do I really trade fucking Ponga for Nicholson? Let's have a quick look at what is going to happen if this happens. So, flex position... it doesn't have... Who do I want? Who do I want? Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I don't know. I don't know. I can get anybody. Anybody I damn well want. I can get Hines still. Fuck it. You know what? Hines, this is one of those moments. Hines, before I came into this video, Hines was the guy I was targeting. He was the guy with Tino that I was like, I'm gonna go those two guys. He was on the top of the order. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go with my initial thoughts first, because again, yeah, you look at all the options, you look at other people's trades, and you just get flooded. You get fucking flooded, man. Hines was the guy I was keen on. I still think Hines is going to be one of the top scorers. Like, 750 is still pretty good value for... It's very good value for Hines. He's got the goal kicking back. I don't. He shouldn't have to worry about Origin. Like, I mean, unless everyone's injured, but I sort of feel like he's not going to get picked. Well, he shouldn't, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. But yeah, I like the Hines play, right? So that obviously strengthens the team as well for this week. Then the question is, do we boost? I don't think so. I you know what? I thought coming in we would definitely boost, but we don't have to. We definitely don't have to, because we now have, close to 300k in the bank. Metcalf up to, looking at like a little future planning, Metcalf up to Campbell costs 250. I think the changes could be pretty negligible. Obviously, Campbell has a decent break even. Metcalf has a really low one. So I'm going to balance them out. I'm going to say 250k to get up to Campbell. We got the cash. We got the cash to do it. Even if worst case scenario, I still think Metcalf straight to Campbell next week will work. Right? Then there's every chance that what's his face? I was just thinking, I'm like, maybe, I still think this is the way. I was like, maybe you get rid of Marju for Hines instead of KP, but no, I don't think we had the money to do that anyway. So yeah, it would have been close, but no, you could, it would make it. You know what? No, we couldn't. We can't do that. Yeah, no, we can't do that because there's no way to swing Marju to the flex. We had three fullbacks, so no, that's fine. Honestly, you don't have to worry about it. We couldn't do it, so that's fine. But yeah, Metcalf straight to Campbell next week. Then there is the potential fucking cheapie of the year. Honestly, with Jenkins could be or one of easy downgrade. Tour picky down to Jenkins. Very, very easy next week. Frees up 250k. And then how much is Iongi? Let's say Iongi, I don't know, makes another, let's say 30k. Let's just say I don't know how much he'll make. So let's just say he'll be 300k plus 250. So 550. We then need still another 200k to go Iongi up to Ponga. Right, so not easy, but definitely doable. I mean, Dewey could get downgraded to somebody, I'm sure. Yeah, there's options. There's definitely options. Even Gula, we could downgrade at a point. Nafahu White could get downgraded to somebody. There's definitely options, but it's not that far out of the realm of possibility. There is the potential this week. I still like Tourpick is very lucky. He's got a 27 break even. It's like right on the cusp. Like, I love Tourpicky. It's just he doesn't see any football. They take on the tie. It's a pretty good matchup, or like it should be a pretty good matchup. But you could boost and go. You could boost and go up to a Tui Pilotu. Tui Pilotu is going to make a bunch of money. He's going to make more money than Torpicky comparatively. You would assume that. But And this, if we are doing this, we are foregoing Matty Nicholson, which I think it's probably okay. Like, I don't know, he scored 48 or 40 odd in 80 minutes last game. If he's not scoring tries, granted, they do take on the Cowboys. They do take on the Cowboys. So pretty good matchup for Matty Nicholson. It's just, I don't know who to trade. I don't know who to trade for him. But who have they got? It's Cowboys, Sharkies, then Para, Gold Coast, Dolphins, Storm. They do play the first two major buys. I don't mind it. What's safer? What is it? I don't think I've looked at the Tigers draw for a bit. What is their draw like coming up? Warriors, I don't even really know. Broncos, Newcastle could be tough. Paris, Sharks, Dragons, Melbourne, South, Cowboys in the bye, then Penrith after. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. You know, if I did get rid of Seyfarth, it also frees up another 100 odd K. That is the other big point here. It does free up an extra 100K. That probably, you know what? That probably is worth it. The fact we're going Hines, we get another 100 odd K. It would be much easier to go. Again, we could go Dewey instead of Metcalf. If Metcalf comes out and goes 100 again, then fucking sure, I'll keep him. It could be Dewey. One of those, they're both similar price. It's fine. Or even, I mean, Dewey could go down to centre wing and we could trade. You trade fucking Tuapiki instead. So we actually have quite a few options. Or even there could be an injury. There could be a fucking injury to Garrick. You never know. So that's fine. You know what? I actually do think, I've been, this round coming in, I was like, I don't need to target the price rises as much. I've got plenty of cash. I've still got some good cash makers, but I do think that extra 100K, but then on top of the 100K, Nicholson is going to make a lot more cash quicker than Seyfarth. He does have a 20 break even, but Nicholson, negative 50. You know what? I think that is worth it. I think it is. Yeah. You know what? The more I think about it, Seyfarth, I was against Seyfarth after the first 2 weeks. He scored a fucking try and got 70, right? He's been good. He's done a decent job for us. But at the end of the day, I'm still not a Seyfarth believer. I think the tries are a bit of a commodity. They're a very rare commodity for Seyfarth. Nicholson, I think, probably is going to be potentially a high try scorer as well. So, yeah, I think this is worth it. I think Seyfarth will do a job. And you definitely don't have to trade him out, but I think the price is just, it's pretty hard to pass up. Yeah, it's very hard to pass up. Negative 42 break even. Good draw. It'll be interesting to see, like I said, what did he play in that first game where he played on the edge for the whole time? He played 66 minutes which is good. It's very strange that him and Hosking did the exact same thing with Simi Sasangi coming on with 10-15 minutes. I don't get it, but in this second game, he obviously played 80 minutes, but he played half the game at lock because of Morgan Smithies. The fact Tarpany's back now, Nicholson's not going to have to play through the middle, so it'll be again, I would have liked to see it last week, but we'll get a good idea of what happens with Nicholson. And worst case scenario, if Nicholson does look a bit duddy as well, then he can make his cash and we can get him off to somebody else. It's obviously worth it's going to cost another trade, but you got trades, you there's no point saving them. we're going a little, and also I think we're going a little harder, a little more attacking this year. Obviously last year we also had to use a lot of trades early, but that was mainly on defensive because just fucking things just went to shit early on. So this year we're going a little attacking with early trades. And now, I mean, I feel like it's been a pretty good trade week, right? We got in Tino, Nico Hines, and Nicholson, and we now have 400k in the bank. I don't know. I think that seems pretty good, if I do say so. Now, the thing is, sit starts now with Hines. We don't. So, do you play Iongi? You know what? I actually think I'm going to sit Iongi. I love Iongi, but Parramatta don't use him well. Every time he gets a chance in the 20, he fucking nails it. But Parramatta just refuse to use him well. Also, I mean, it's against the Seagulls at Four Pines Park. Tommy's back. It's you know, it's one of those games where it's like too good to be true for our Manly boys, but like there's every chance this becomes a fucking blowout. And I don't think Iongi's going to score that well under the post. So this means I don't have to play Iongi. I'm going to play Tilpiki. I mean, I'm keeping him another week. I got to play him. He's averaged 50 for us. I still love him. So you know what? I'm happy to play him. I like watching him play. Yeah, and there's I did talk about this, that maybe he goes to the left wing without Tuivasa-Sheck. I feel like they probably don't, but he might. I would like it if he did. It's actually interesting because I think Rocco Berry, he comes in. I think Berry has been predominantly a right side centre, so I wonder if Leitao potentially shifts. I don't know. But I'm pretty certain that Berry has been right side dominant his career, but maybe he's been more left and he just has another chance. So we'll see. I don't know, but I'm happy to play him. It's fine. Garrick, Arthurs. I mean, I'm happy to play Arthurs and Shibazaki against the Dolphins. Like, I mean, I don't really have any other options. I could play Purdue, but I'm not going to, obviously. And then Toya, I'm happy enough to play. It is what it is. Metcalf, we gotta go. We gotta take the punt. I mean, if we're not trading him out, this is literally what happened fucking 2 weeks ago. So we gotta take the punt. I'm also happy to play Dewey. Like, he hasn't been killing it, but I'd rather play Dewey over Iongi this week and also over Purdue. But I mean, Purdue, if he scores a try, he's going to go decently. So hopefully Dewey can just fucking jag some attack. Like, he's being close, but just score a try or something, please. Sanders Smith, we obviously have to play over Cleary this week. Actually, we don't have to. With the flex, we can do some funny stuff. Yeah, we don't have to play Sanders Smith, although I don't. You know what? I'm pretty happy to, because I was gonna say we could shift Smith. No. Yes. No. Well, yeah, we could. Okay, yeah, we could do that, but then it would be out of Smith and Iongi, and yeah, I still prefer playing Smith over Iongi, so that's fine. I was thinking, I'm like, we could swing Starling. you could. There's probably a way you could do it if you had Starling and flex. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I'm happy enough to play Sanders Smith. It's fine. And then our back row, it picks itself. Olaquatu, Tino, Horsburgh, Haas, Terrell May, and Starling. I'm still happy to play Starling. Nicholson, I mean, we're going to play, I think. Our bench is a little weak, I will say. I don't know. Surely people's 17 or 18 is a little bit weak this week. I mean, you don't have... The Knights are gone. Cleary's gone. Tuvashek gone. I mean, a lot of people are bringing in like Tui Pilotu and Gutho, but they do take on Melbourne. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to forego them. And I guess I'm foregoing Papenhuyzen doing this. Yeah, I am. I'm foregoing Pappy. I sort of forgot about Papenhuyzen, if I'm honest. But I think I don't think I can bring myself to get Papenhuyzen in. I don't think I can. He's just... I think I'd rather Hines. I think I'd rather Hines than all those other guys. I think he's just got the consistency. Like, I think he does at the end of the day. Like, I mean, 50 against Penrith, round 1 of the season, it's fine. Like, it's the toughest way to start. 86 against the Cowboys and then 115. Granted, they are two very bad teams. It's the one thing. Oh, I'm gonna second guess myself, aren't I? It is the fact he only scored 80. He only scored 86 and 115 against arguably the two worst defensive teams this year, barring Parramatta. So maybe you take a punt on one of the yeah, okay, you know what? I think I'm locked in. I know I did a big spiel about fucking going with my first gut of getting Nico Hines in. I could renege on that. I'm locked in to Tino in. He's locked in. I'm also locked in to Nicholson in. Honestly, it frees up 100k. He's going to make a lot of cash pretty quickly. So I'm locked in for those two. It's just a matter of... And I think I am locked into using the boost and trading Ponga out this week. I think I am. And it's just a matter of, do we go Hines, Papenhuyzen? I mean, Gutho. You could still go Gutho. Pappy is just so tempting just because of the price. Like, he's 600k. Oh, man, why did he have to roll his ankle? Like, if he didn't fucking roll his ankle, bro, he would have been... If he was goal kicking, he'd be straight in. There wouldn't even be a question in my mind. But the fact he's not going to goal kick is like... I don't know. He's looking good, though. He's looking good. And they got a good draw, so... I'm changing the Papenhuyzen because again I don't have any Sharks or Storm, which I do have to rectify. Like, I think I do need some Sharkies and I do need some Stormers. I think just honestly the price is like, it's really hard to pass up. Like this now I sit with 500k in the bank. And it makes it way easier. We can get Campbell in next week. It'll be way easier to get Ponga in. Not necessarily next week, but I think the week after, without doubt. There's a chance to get in like another gun centre winger. If we downgrade, like we could downgrade to Jenkins someone and then upgrade again. We'd have so much cash to spare. Forward pack is strong. Dummy halves are doing their job. You know what? I think we're gonna do this. I could change and go back to Hines, but I think I'm gonna take the punt on Papenhuyzen. I would love to hear a little bit more, and I guess at the end of the day, like, so Papenhuyzen plays Saturday. There's no one really earlier. Obviously, Hines plays after, so if something happens to Papenhuyzen, then we can definitely just shift to Hines, which is fine. Honestly, I don't mind that as the backup play. We can do that very comfortably. Yeah, and even I guess we could also, if we wanted to, if like Papenhuyzen was out and all these other guys, you could go to fucking Gutho. You could still go to Gutherson. Like, yeah, against the Storm, very depleted. It's not the worst. So I think we're going to do this for now. Leave it till we find out a bit more about Pappy. See if he maybe can lace up the boots to kick goals, but we'll see. Let's have a look at captain, vice captain. So a very, it's important every week. I mean, I don't want to keep harping on about it, but I still hate the way the captaincy system works. I'll whinge about it every time. But I think you've got to captain Tommy. 4 Points Park. Apparently it's going to be really wet though. So it's got... Why does it have to be wet, bro? Like, why? You just have to ruin our week with that, don't you? But I still think Tommy captain. And then vice captain, I mean, you could go the risky play of Papenhuyzen. You could go the safe play of Payne Haas. I think for me, it's either Payne Haas, the safety of Haas, or the potential upside of Papenhuyzen. You sort of think if you're going Pappy and Tommy, one of the two is going to pop off, right? Like, there's a good chance at least one of them pops off, so I don't mind it. And then if for whatever reason Papenhuyzen's out, then we go to Hines. We could definitely vice captain Hines as well. I don't mind that against the Dogs at Shark Park. So yeah, there's options. I'm a little undecided, but I think that's the core of it. That's the position we find ourselves in. I'm happy with the team. I think it's pretty solid overall. Obviously Cleary being out against the Rabbitohs is fucking, that's just annoying, isn't it? That's very annoying. That's very annoying. That would add a lot of firepower, but it is what it is. And then short term, obviously Jaden Campbell we get a good look at this week again. Love to bring him in. I think he's the target of 5'8", and then looking to get back onto Ponga as soon as possible would be ideal. And then other than that, like, it's pretty good. I mean, I still would like to get Hines in. I still would like to get him in, but this will be a good watch because he scored well the last 2 weeks, but they have been against two very bad teams and they put a score on both. Like, if we look round 2, they won 36-12. I don't think Hines didn't kick in this one. I don't think he did. But a lot of points scored. And then round 3, I mean, he was on nearly a ton at half time. The Sharks definitely took the foot off the gas in the second half. But, 27-12 against the Bunnies, like, I don't know. I don't know how they didn't put more points on, if I'm honest. But it'll be a good test against this Dogs team who, we'll see if they're defensively as good as people say they are. Obviously missing a couple of big guns as well. But, yeah, it'll be a good tester. But, yeah, I think that'll pretty much wrap it up. Who has the bye next week? Jesus Christ, this is where I can never see who it is. I think it's who is it? The Dogs? No, the Dogs are next week. It is... I don't think it's anyone too important for me, so it's fine. The Warriors? It is the Warriors. It is. So that actually works out perfectly to trade both of them, depending what happens. But yeah, we'll see. But I think that locks us up. I'm not sold on Papenhuyzen, but it's what we're doing for now. It is what we're doing for now, but we shall see. We shall see what happens, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.